Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, welcome back to a new video, and today again blood is running through the streets for crypto. One news event after another follows each other up, and it's all negative or interpreted as negative, and everything is just selling off. Before we are going to dive into the charts, I want to show you a few news headlines right now. And before doing that, I want to ask you, of course, to hit the like button, subscribe, click on the bell, click on also. You don't miss anything. Leave me a comment, share this video with your friends who think that's useful. Also in the description you find a handful of video links, and you find 2 links to my Twitter and Instagram. Feel free to follow me there. Alright, cool. Let's dive in. And yeah, it is red green across the board for the traditional markets. Here Europe has closed into the green, same goes for Asia, but the United States, we're seeing the S&P Nasdaq was a little red and then green, and now back in the red again. Oil is pumping up a little bit. Gold and silver are going up a little bit. Silver was earlier up 1.5%, so the bounce up is just so far very minor. Most important news that came out was the inflation, the CPI numbers, and that was 8.3, which was barely any lower than the previous one. Yeah. Matter of fact, no, look at this, it was 8.1 the last one. So then, yeah, it is. Inflation is here to stay. It will stay here for a while, so get ready for that. And of course, then in crypto, the biggest news was around stablecoin UST, a whole project around what is it, Luna and Terra. That's all one and the same company and project, I think from Don Kwon. Oh, here you go. And it's just lost its peg 1-to-1 to the dollar, and everyone is just selling off, and therefore this whole stablecoin debate is back on the table. Like, how safe is it? Is everything backed? Apparently it's not backed. And for Luna, everything was backed by Bitcoin, which of course is weird, because if Bitcoin is dumping down, then they need to start selling off the Bitcoin to kind of balance out then those dollar pairs. So now everything is just going completely down the drain. I think it's game over for UST. Tether is maybe something, is a different story, but for UST on the Luna Bitcoin backed system, it's over. This was just very dangerous. Alright, then we are going to of course look at BTC USD pair. Man, it doesn't seem to stop. Look at that, it just goes on and on and on. It looks very bloody. And as you can see, it looks like we're bouncing off this support line here that already was support numerous times in the past. And I think about yesterday how I said, well, actually it would be nice if this kind of stays here then for a little bit, for another few weeks or months, and then we're going higher, and then we had this tremendous base here again. That actually would be very nice. I draw another yellow line here underneath. And if you know, if you've been longer in crypto than a few weeks, then you know which line this is. This is the top from the bull market in 2017. So I'm afraid that if we start losing the current level as where we are right now, then I think the top of 2017 is definitely in the cards. Look at this, there's it right away. So that's around 20k. Because there's just not a lot of volume underneath us, so I'm really afraid that once you start breaking down, it's a fast ride down. We were already anticipating for the low 30Ks for already a very long time. I was actually first hoping it will be around this level, the 33, 34. That will be then with these 2 previous wicks, and then maybe we set a nice base and we could go higher. Now we're here, so we're actually making a lower low, which of course is bearish, but like I said, if we're taking this on a much bigger time frame, then yes, it is quite bloody, but that would actually be very nice if we hold here and maybe bounce there for a while. I think I said in yesterday's video, I do not believe in a V-shaped recovery. There's just too much damage being done, and just 1 week after another dump, and it feels like, can we go lower? Can we even go lower? We gotta bounce somewhere, you know. It just looks like it doesn't stop, and putting in major longs right now, I think is a little bit catching a falling knife. Yes, this could be a nice base, but it has to be seen. Yes, we still have the CME gap here above us, 34, 35k. Would be nice if we go there. Of course, at some point there's a bounce, but I already said this many times before. Crypto goes much higher than you think and much lower than you expect. Because let's be honest, When we were up here at was it 66, 68. Okay, then we said, we're never gonna go to the low 30s anymore. A 50 or 60% drop, that's not gonna happen anymore. Now a few months later, here we are. So yeah, definitely again, just write this down, print it out, hang it above your bed. Crypto goes higher than you think, lower than you expect. And from being a few years in the business, I'm not surprised about anything anymore. Yeah, I think I also said it yesterday. The only thing that I'm missing right now is like really this big capitulation kind of wick where we really just wick down 10-20% and then maybe up, and that is then maybe a base. Who knows, it could still happen that we let's say wick down on a daily, let me do it like this, that we could wick down on a daily very low, maybe 24, 25, 22, I don't know, and then go back up again and then close the day here. Then you just have one crazy wick where you get a lot of shorts liquidated. If we zoom in on the 4 hourly, you know what, actually let's do the hourly, then you can see how crazy price action so far has been today. This was absolutely the sell-off the hour before the markets opened, and this whole lunar thing, then we went back up all the way to the top again, and now it looks like we're going lower again. Yeah, like I said, overall I'm just quite bearish because all we have been doing now is making lower lows, and yes, we have to bounce at some point, but I do not believe that right now we're building up the steam or we're building up a base to set much higher prices as in 40, 44, 48k. It's just not going to happen. So yeah, there will be a relief bounce, but I think a lot of people use that momentum to sell off their position to cover maybe the losses where they're in, and then we're going lower again and retest this. This thing will probably need weeks, if not maybe months, to play out. I will make a dedicated video about more the macro time frame, but it looks pretty bad. There is another thing actually that I wanted to show you. I think yesterday we talked about something like this. There was maybe a bit of a channel, but actually you could say that later on, because I was gone almost the entire day, is that we were making excuse me, this triangle pattern right here. They break out 50-50, so that means if we're now leaning in bearish, then we will most likely break to the downside again. This was like this big fake, and now we're breaking out again. But if we're coming into the upside, then it's a little bit higher likelihood that we're going higher. But since this is both leaning like this, therefore it's 50-50. Now the triangle would be different if it looks like this and we're going in like this, then it's higher likelihood for us to break higher, but that's now not the case. And it's just easy to remember because this is our two equal lines. So that is how you can remember this. Like I said, it just looks very bearish. I mean, look at this hourly, just the negative money flow. So the money flowing out of crypto, it just doesn't seem to stop. It's just very painful grind. You could almost say, would it still makes sense to put in a short right now, since we already dumped down 40-50% of what is it, 50 to 6% from the top. Let me check that to be sure. Yeah, so 56 right now. Of course the bottom will be in somewhere. I think I would not put in a short unless we may be closing a daily candle here underneath this fixed support line, which is now right now resting around 29,800 ish. 29,900. If we start closing a daily below, then I think that 20k is in the charts, and then it's a free fall. I have no idea where it will stop. If we might reverse here a little bit, then again still the target from yesterday, the 34-35k, maybe to close that CME gap would still be on the table, and from there on actually I would also be out of my trade. So yeah, I'm really taking this by a day. At the end of the day, I'm in cash, and Liz, I'm really thinking that that we might drop much lower, go much higher, but right now I don't see that set up in the charts. So yeah, really anything can happen with the news. I mean, you see it today again with the Terra, with the CPI news comes out, and it's just the news drives the stock markets, and crypto is following the stock markets at the moment. That you see a very high correlation, and therefore we're also dumping down. And if the Fed then again start rising the interest rates, then we're seeing the stocks dropping down even more, and I think crypto will also then follow again. Okay, let's quickly head over to ETH. There we see that we also broke the support right here that already came in since February 2021. So let's zoom in here on the daily. just looks very, very ugly. Actually, no, matter of fact, I need to zoom out, because here we have just so many levels underneath us where we could find support. So this one I find a little bit tricky. So right now we're trading at $2,200, but then here I see support at let's say $2,000. Then I see here one around 2,800 ish, then 1700. I saw one here at around 1700. Yeah, 1700. And actually I would then just wind it down by $100. So 1700, 1600, $1,500. Because if you go to these very low numbers for ETH, then like $100 is $100 difference is then already quite a big percentage. And when we were trading here at $3,000-$4,000, you know, then $100 more or less, who cares? And I have the same, of course, for BTC. When we're at $60,000 and went up $1,000 a day, like, yeah, percentage-wise it's just not a lot. But since we're now just dumping lower and lower and lower, you know, from $2,000 to $1,800 is just quote unquote $200, but we're talking about an extra 10% drop. So right here it's getting dangerous, and we can just really wick down, wick lower. But I just mentioned the levels that I'm looking out for. If we're going up, then I'm looking out for this level right here, which is 2,424, and if not, let's take this one, 2,800. I think we're not going to be there anytime soon. We're talking about, what is it, 20-30% up. Yeah, so this would make sense. It's 10%, 2424, and then another one, 2,800. There's probably somewhere one in the middle. Let's take this one ish. That is 2,600. That's another 17% up. It could happen, but yeah, just stay careful. I also would not be surprised, and same goes for BTC, if we just start trading here for a long time with the daily candles before we are going higher. You also kind of see the same here. The tops are getting smaller. Here another very small trigger wave, and then we're just trading low, low, low. And this actually is just for a very, very long time before we are reaching those tops again. Then you're seeing this one is getting smaller, another tight trigger wave. This one's also getting smaller, and then we're getting a bit of a big bounce up. But now, of course, we're trading much lower again, and I think we will stay here for quite some time. So yes, we might get a little bit up, but then I think down again. So yeah, that would all be in the scenario. So again, guys, just take it very, very cautious, very careful. Take it by day. Don't over leverage. If you're day trading, definitely be cash at the end of the day. Everything can happen. This show goes on 24/7, and if you don't have tight stop losses and you're taking your profits, you're getting wrecked, 100% sure. So be very, very careful. Thank you guys so much. Again, you would highly do me a favor if you would like, subscribe, click on the bell, click on also. If you don't miss anything, leave me a comment, share the video with your friends if you think that's useful. Also feel free to follow me on Twitter and Instagram. Links in the descriptions. There you will also find a handful of affiliate links. Feel free to check them out, and see you guys very soon again. Thank you so much. Bye bye.